Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by a fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
All right, in this video, I'm going to share with you my thoughts about, taking revenge against your ex, especially after a breakup. I'll give you my thoughts about it, and I'll also state a few examples of my clients without giving their identity and what I told them. Okay, feel free to comment down below and let me know your thoughts because I'm pretty sure most of us have undergone a breakup at some point in our lives. All right. If you're new to the channel, my name is Loy Machedo. I'm a personal branding strategist. I help people get well-paying jobs in Dubai, UAE, and also Saudi, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman. And people book my sessions for personal or professional issues, challenges, problems when they want a different point of view or a perspective. Okay, because I generally give very realistic, hardcore, and sometimes even stuff that you do not want to hear. So I'm not like one of those goody coaches. Okay, so the reason why many people, or the reason why people approach me about breakup or how to like overcome a breakup or take revenge is because of the videos that I've shared about taking revenge after you break up. You can just type in YouTube Loy Machedo revenge relationship breakup. You'll get my videos. Now, every individual who breaks up would like to believe that the other person is wrong. That is a given, that I'm right, that person is wrong. Okay? And whenever I get a client who speaks to me, they'll always tell me how they were the hero in the movie or the good guy, and the other person was a bad guy, which is totally understandable because you're giving your story from your point of view. And obviously, they ask, okay, how can I overcome this? Or what can I do to get better? I want to show this person. And then there are also situations where people say, I want to teach this person a lesson. Okay, so I'll just quickly go through each and every scenario. Now, the first one is when you break up. Okay, when you break up, always remember there is a bad taste in both the people's mouth. Okay, like feelings are hurt and people are upset, and obviously they want to move on. Now, depending on who broke up, okay, and who quickly got a new partner, that person will recover much more faster. So let's say, for example, a guy broke up with a girl and he gets a new girlfriend before breaking up or immediately after breaking up. He is happy. Okay, he'll be in a happy place or he'll be relaxed. But the other person who does not get a lover or does not get someone to lean on to, that person suffers the pain, agony, and loneliness. Okay, that's the first thing. The second one is who loves the other person more. So if you love the other person more and the breakup takes place, you'll get hurt more. Okay, and then there is also the bitterness part, that did you sacrifice much more than the other person, or you believe that you sacrifice? Like obviously, if you ask both the individuals, they'll say, yeah, I sacrificed a lot. But depending on who really believes that and who has actually done it, you tend to suffer more. And here's one caveat I'll give you. Both parties, whenever I've spoken to, both believe they have done a lot more. Okay. And sometimes they exaggerate also. Then comes the part, here's another thing. Then comes a part where when they break up, obviously you'll have friends, common friends, and all that. Uh, who gets more support, who gets less support, who gets ostracized or thrown out of the group. So those factors also come into play. And then it creates a whole series of complications if you both were friends in a group and now you both are broken up, and then, people have to choose between you and her, and, it can get complicated. Okay. So that is the first part. Now, the second part is where a person wishes to move on. They want to, go on with their lives. And that is a sensible approach. Okay, happened, didn't work out, we move on. Moving on, see, here you either, and I think it's because of social media, people generally want to put the message out loud and clear that I have moved on, I am better off than you, ha ha ha. And how they show this is by hanging out with their friends and putting photographs. Some people put updates which sting the other person. Like, they obviously will delete the other person, but then they'll also put a stinging remark. Good riddance to bad rubbish. That's what people said. I'm in a happier place. So people like to get back and take revenge that way. Then there are others who also do this just to make the person feel bad because the emotions are raw. They will actually go on a date with somebody else, or they'll fake it that they are dating somebody else just to show I'm better off than you. Ha ha ha, I've moved on. And see, over here, if you do that, you're only fooling yourself. Yes, the other person may get hurt, but you're just fooling yourself for no reason. You don't have to do that. Okay. And then there are other people who literally, even after breaking up, they keep a tab on this other person, where this person is going. They create fake accounts and follow. And now, obviously, because of the privacy scheme that is there with the social media, you can't check unless, of course, you have a common friend who supplies you with the information. Okay. So they stalk the other person and want to find out what's happening with them. Okay. And yeah, and then there are others who play the game by putting false information so that the person can get misguided. Oh, I'm still suffering. I'm still alone without you, when they are actually dating and sleeping around with somebody else. Okay. But the actual way to move on, in my opinion, the actual way, and this is the strategy that I've used, I think, all my life, is out of sight, out of mind. If I break up, finish. I don't want to know what the person is doing. I don't want to know who the person is dating. I don't want to know if the person's happy or sad. I just don't want to know the person. And I think I learned this only after I broke up with Anita. Anita was a girl whose face I tattooed here. I went into like depression for, I would say, the first 3 months were horrific. Oh my goodness. I was literally crying, actual crying. This is not an exaggeration. I was literally sitting in the room, locked myself, and I think 3, 4, 5, 6 hours until my eyes were aching and swollen, and there were no more tears. And it was a mess. She dropped me like a hot potato, and I don't blame her. She was only 18. I was 31. I was madly in love with her. Yeah, I know some of you will call me pedophile or whatever floats your boat. Okay, you can call me whatever you like. But I was completely devastated. Imagine being a playboy all my life and sleeping around with so many girls, but this one girl pulled the strings of my heart because she was kind of petite, and I really felt like I really cared about her. I really, really wanted to take care of her. Like, it's like taking care of innocent little creature. So that affection and love was there. But, you know, to not just play the devil's advocate, uh, I was not the best for her. Okay, I'm being honest, because her level of expectations, her tastes, whatever, and this is not me being diplomatic. I'm telling you reality. We were not meant for each other. We were just like people who met at a phase, and we enjoyed each other's company and moved on. But obviously, because she was 18, she dropped me like a hot potato. I didn't know how to handle this. I didn't even know that I loved her so much. I was so crazy about her. I was so addicted. I don't know if it's love, but it was, the intensity was crazy. Okay. And then 3 months crying this and that. And man, it was so terrible sitting in the room alone, crying every day, looking at her photographs, looking at this, looking at her letters. I even had her underwear, her bra, her clothes. I was to hold that, cry. I know, laugh. So it was a phase, man. It was a phase. But finally, one day I was like, man, I can't go on like this. I really can't fucking go. This is not life. Like, I just got fed up. Seriously, I got fed up of crying, but I couldn't stop it. I think it was, it was Nick Vujicic's video. I want you to see it. NICKVYJIC. Wait, I'll give you the exact name. I want you to watch this video. Get back up. NICKV, V for victory, JICIC. Okay, I want you to see his video, Get Back Up. When I saw his video, he is born without arms and legs. Okay. And, in one line, his whole presentation was, when life knocks you down and he physically falls down, he's on a table because he has no hands, no legs. He's a small guy. So he says, you have to struggle, you can't get back up and all that. And finally he says, but if you keep trying, and then with his head, he pushes himself back up. He says, you can get back up. So great analogy. And man, everyone in the audience was crying. I was crying looking at him. I was like, oh, I have to succeed. And then I decided, man, looking at these photographs, I keep crying and so much in pain. I need to stop this. Like, this is not the way to live. Like, you have to move on. And I'll tell you, I could have done a lot of things to her. I could have taken, which I'll speak about, the revenge part after this. But finally, after, I think, 3 months, you could say another 3, I was still struggling. I was talking to people. I was taking help. I was taking guidance. People will say, good you left her, man. She was this and that and whatever. They were calling her nymphomaniac, which I think was true. She did love sex a lot. And it was great sex, I'll tell you that. But then I think after the 6th month, 6th month or something, when I was talking to one of my old friends, and then we ended up dating each other. I will just call her Chris. I'll just call her Chris. Her name, real name is whatever, hidden. So, well, thanks to her, love, affection, sex, whatever we were enjoying, I was able to put this one out of my mind. But then there was a rebound, then I got kind of attached to her, and then she broke up with me. That's another story in itself. Okay. So yeah, I was, like they say, out of sight, out of mind. And what I did is, all her letters, all her clothes, all her memories, everything, I destroyed it. I set it on fire. I burnt it. I had her sex videos. I had photographs, compromising photographs. All I deleted. Yeah, I know. You must be thinking, hey, can you show us? No, I deleted everything. Seriously, I just deleted because, I could have taken revenge. I'll come to that. But I just didn't want anything got to do. And I deleted every social media, block, everything, finish. And I think because of that, I was able to not think about her 24/7. And slowly but surely, I was able to move on. And I would tell you, it took me, I think, around 6 years. Seriously, 6 years to completely move on. And she did get in touch with me later on, after the 10th year, I think, through a fake account. But then I blasted her because she was acting like an idiot, man. And to be honest, in hindsight, now when I think about it, I would say she was anyway immature because she's 18. She's a small kid. I was also bloody immature, man. At 31, just imagine, at 31, I was still immature. I was like a jackass, man. And when I did get in touch with her, she had not grown because she was now 18, 28. She had not yet grown up because she is still 28. What do you expect? I was nearly, I think, 39, 39. Yeah. Um, and w- at that moment, I realized the best thing that ever happened to me was breaking up. And I'm not saying just to say, oh, I'm better than you or I got one off than you. No, genuinely. Because see my personality in hers. And this is something I didn't pay attention to at that time. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't like going with friends, parties, and nightclubs. I just accompany people when I wanted to see girls, and you'll not believe, but I used to go to a nightclub and take a book to read. Yeah, I know, I know. It was a little bizarre those days. Okay, so no smoke, no drink, no whatever, nightclubs, parties. She loves to drink. She loves to hang out with her, and she does smoke. I am not too much. By the way, she was born diabetic. That's a very dangerous thing. And then, I mean, where I liked self improvement and growth and all that, she was not at all into it. I was like a business minded rebel. She was more, going to be into the medical profession. One characteristic that she absolutely had, she was a hardcore, blatant liar. And this came from a defensive mechanism because her parents were exceptionally abusive. And this is a very sad part. Her father tried to sexually molest and rape her multiple number of times, okay, which was really, really very sad. I really feel bad for that, okay. Um, so yeah, uh, that kind of sucked. And I guess in order to protect herself, she had to create this facade and keep lying. Okay. And she would lie left, right, and center. And she even lied to me, which I never knew at that time. So yeah, and then obviously our goals were different, our priorities were different, our the age that we were in. I wanted something else at that time, 40. She wanted something else, and there was no way we are going to. It was going to work out, and I think on top of that, the biggest one was the sense of entitlement which she had. And imagine from the age of, I don't know, whatever young age she was having sex with so many people. And I'm not saying like sex like promiscuous, but she did have multiple relationships. So she, like they say, you have a taste of different flavors, it never stops. So she was not um like marriage material, as to put it very bluntly. She was not at all marriage material, in the sense she cannot settle down, she cannot take responsibilities of being a wife, at least at that phase. I don't know if she has changed and evolved today. Yes, women do change once they give birth to children. They become more responsible, very mature. I'm pretty sure if she's married now, I'm not in touch with her. If she's married now, if she has children, I'm very sure she'll be grounded, and I hope she is grounded. And listen, I'm not talking about her to throw shit on her. I genuinely, sincerely, hand on heart, I'm telling you this. I want her to have a good life. I want her to be happily married. I want her to succeed, be rich, whatever, because it doesn't matter to me. If she becomes a multi-millionaire or she gets bankrupt, if she lives or she dies, if she achieves the greatest honor on the planet, it doesn't benefit me at all. Like my bank balance, that's what matters to me. It just remains as it is. So I sincerely wish her all the best, and I don't need to wish her bad because I've evolved. I not evolved. I have overcome that pain. Now coming to the revenge part. Okay, I had her compromising photographs. Semi nude and bra panty, and um, we had a couple of sex videos together. We are both horny and both were adventurous. I could have used that against her. I really could have used that against her. I thankfully, okay, uh, the one side of me is like, man, if you had those kinky photographs, you could still see kinky videos, you could still see. There is a dark side of me that still wishes, man, it would have been fun for it to be there. But that's very risky. That's very, very risky. If not for me, at least for her. Because, once a sex video leaks or gets hacked, a person's life can get destroyed. That's a fact. And especially if you are Asian and you're a girl, um, and the price to pay is too great. Yeah. And I'll tell you, the last thing I need in my life is to know that because of my actions, somebody's life has been destroyed. You can't live with that guilt. If you are a decent human being, if you have an iota of goodness in your heart, you cannot live that way. So I'm very glad. The biggest thing I'm glad is I never took revenge. I never, uh, you know, put those photographs or videos online or shared it, because if you share with one, it'll go viral. Thankfully, I just deleted every single bloody thing. I just finished. And even her letters, whatever she had given me some of her prized possessions, her memories, because she genuinely wanted to marry me and all that. I just left it outside her house. Her brother took it, and that was it. So, in a way, I'm kind of glad that I never did anything which I could. And this is exactly the same thing which I tell even my clients, even a person who calls me just for one session and says, I want to take revenge. I said, see, I always tell them, see, listen, the person you broke up with, if they succeed or fail, it's not going to increase your bank balance. It's not going to further your career. It's not going to make you a better person. Yes, deep down you'll feel, ha ha ha, I'm better off than you, or you piece of shit. Yeah, that vindictiveness will keep us happy, but it's not worth it. Yeah. See, I know that we always like to have the last laugh. Okay, we like to know, like, you dumped me, but today I'm a multimillionaire. We like that success story. We love to watch such movies. In fact, when people see my videos and they say, "Oh, Loy, you're so far, you're better off than her. Ha ha, the bitch deserves it." And there are guys who take inspiration in a way. I don't know if inspiration is the right word. Oh, Loy, I want my story to be like you. The girl who dumped me, tomorrow I'll become a multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire, rich, powerful, successful, and then I'll look at her and say, "Ha ha ha, you ordinary piece of shit." Okay, you can use the negative energy to fuel your fire, to make you something. But I'll tell you, that fire also is very short lived, because it doesn't come from a place of wanting to grow as an individual. It comes from a very negative, dark place where you're constantly, that person is like this, living rent free in your head. And you want, you're constantly thinking of that person. But on the other hand, if you have the drive to make something out of yourself and it's internalized, then it's much better. And here's one very important thing which I want to tell you, and I also tell my clients, see, listen, yes, you want to be better off than her. You want to get a hotter girl than, much more hot than her, or much more rich and successful than your partner. You want to get someone who's much better charactered, who love you more, or who'll keep you happy, and then you can flaunt and say, ha ha ha, have someone better off than you. Like, some of the girls who broke up with me today, they are fat, they are old, obviously because my age, they're fat, old. Some of them have divorced, some of them, their lives are ordinary. Now I can flaunt and show, hey, I have this young girl, and for men, even if you're 60, like Al Pacino is 80, whatever, you can still get a young girl if you're rich, successful. But it all depends if that is your priority and focus. Okay, and if you want to rub it in and just feel great about it, you can enjoy your 2 minutes of fame. But what I genuinely feel, and this is not me trying to be a goody goody guy, okay? You need to have a sense of happiness that comes from deep within. And the best way for me to explain this to you is like when when I'm with my daughter, I'm not thinking about ha ha ha, revenge. I'm completely focused on her, and I don't even think about my ex. Like when I'm with my daughter, or when my daughter shows me something, or when my wife does something meaningful for me, I I really do not think about her at all. In fact, the only reason I'm making this video is because I had a client call with regards to his ex. And he brought up my past because he saw my video and then he decided to take my consultation. But otherwise, I don't think about my ex at all. And, like, for example, only when I wanted to make a video did I think about my ex. Like, if I'm thinking of, okay, relationship, uh, or sometimes when I see the tattoo and people ask me, what is this tattoo all about? Okay. Otherwise, I don't think. And yeah, just so that you know, does your wife feel bad? And my wife doesn't care. She knows I was a playboy. She looks at the tattoo and she just laughs about it. Seriously, huh? My wife is not like, oh, when she's having sex, she's looking at that tattoo and, hey, what is this? No, she just, I have so many tattoos, people, in fact, don't even see them. It just vanishes because they interact with me. And my wife, for my wife, if anyone brings up and asks her, do you notice your husband's tattoo? She's like, no, I don't even see it exist. Like, for example, when you're watching my videos, first time when you see it, oh, who's this tattooed freak? But after that, you don't even notice unless I tell, oh, look at the tattoos. Even when I look at my videos, I don't look and, oh, tattoo. It's just normal. So my wife doesn't even notice. It's not even there. Like when you keep something on a table and it's just there, you don't even notice. It's like that. So when I talk to my daughter, when I'm with my wife, when we are going out, I don't think. And because now time is a healer. I look at that part of my life as a phase, as I was a 30-year-old immature young man. I was going through the phase of a relationship. I loved the sex. I love the romance. I love the kinkiness, the adventure, the spontaneity, the youthfulness. I was flaunting her and all that. But that was a phase, and that was not real life. That was just enjoy, fun. It's like going to Disneyland and having fun. It's like, when I see tourists come here with a boy and girl, both young, and they're just busy smooching, kissing, and touching each other. That is not real life. That is just a phase, man. That is why if you look at married couples with children, they're not smooching and kissing and fingering each other and pushing each other on the wall and making out. No, there are much more important things in life than romance and sex, and priorities change. So I tell them, see, listen, about the revenge part. Okay, if you want to take revenge, the best revenge is focus on yourself, make the best choices, and improve and try to become better. That is the best revenge you can have. But if your revenge is to see the downfall of that person and to do sabotage that person and cause harm, no, that is an absolute no. That you should not do at all. Because remember, one is it's a criminal offense if you do get caught. The second one is nobody is going to be happy. We can see in the newspaper someone threw acid on the girl's face or tried to smash the car into the girl or the guy or her new boyfriend. Or what are you doing here? Come on. Yeah. And yes, there have been even instances where I've got even these girls crying and telling me, I want him to learn a lesson. Just just forget him. Let them do whatever the fuck they want. Eventually they'll shoot themselves in the foot, because life is all about making the right choices. And that is also something which I tell guys and girls. Guys always say, that bitch left me. Now she is she's never going to get guy, for me as a guy, even if I'm 80, I'll get another girl, or 60. They tell me this. But I tell them, listen, you can get girls when you're 60, 70, 80, provided you're successful, provided you have money, provided you have made the right choices. Okay. I'm not talking of, a very fat, ugly guy or handicapped guy who gets this really hot female. Those are those are very rare. It's like winning a lottery ticket. It's very, very rare. So don't bank on that. Okay. And this theory that, especially married couples, when they break up, and they say, oh, she broke up with me, she'll find it very hard to get a guy. Well, you'll be very surprised to know there are quite a number of females who, even if they're single, women are incredibly more mature than men. And this is a fact. Women are much more mature than men. And if they have their head on their shoulders and they have a little bit of this masculine trait, they will work their ass off and make something out of their life, especially if they have children. You want the best example? Look at Filipinas. How many Filipinas are single mothers? How many? So many. But they are very responsible, very mature. They may not be financially well off, but they do their due diligence. And even here in Thailand, so many women are single. So many. Okay, single mothers. But they really take care of their children. And I'll tell you, a woman's resolve, resilience, character, unbelievable. There are so many females who take up being a prostitute because they don't know anything else. They are from very poor backgrounds. They only have their body, and they commoditize it. They commercialize it, to feed their family. But forget the act, what they're doing. They take care of their family. And that way, men are slightly bit more immature. Okay, so men take longer to grow up. But if you're really focused, if you really are a person of, discipline, character, uh, you make the right choices, you have the right mentor, um, you focus on your goal, you can achieve success. For a man, it is easier, but then depends, are you focused? For a woman, it is harder, but they are determined and they make it happen. So overall, what I tell people who break up or who call me for revenge, I listen to what they have to say. I try to evaluate their situation by putting myself in their shoes, and I do my genuine best to tell them what they need to do. Not only to overcome. Some of them ask me, "How do I overcome? I'm heartbroken. I keep thinking about her or him. What do I do?" So okay, that is different. Or if they ask me, how can I move on now? How can I succeed? What should I do? What is A, B, C, D? So I guide them accordingly. But end of the day, remember, it all comes down to you. Are you making the right choices consistently every single day? Are you focused? Do you have what it takes to have internal drive? And last but not the least, you know, what is your purpose? What is your vision in life? What is your higher calling? What is your overall definition of happiness, joy, fulfillment? Like, how do you define your one life? If these things fall into perspective, I would tell you, um, you'll do fine. But remember, if you've just broken up, give it time to heal. It takes time to heal, and father time can be cruel at times, but at the same time, it's one of the best healers because only time can help you overcome things. So, bottom line, just get busy, keep focused, stay busy because when you're busy, when you're actually physically doing something and you can't think two things at a time. Try this. You cannot think two things at a time independently. When you're doing something physically and you are focused and you're involved in it, you will forget. You'll forget everything else. So stay busy and that will help you. And yes, remember, if nothing else, uh, Surround yourself with people who genuinely care about you, who can guide you, who are mature. If you can't afford a mentor, and I'll tell you, in time, with your support group, you will overcome whatever difficulty is there. I hope this video gave you some perspective. Put your thoughts down below, and yeah, please don't name and shame your your ex, but do share if you have any experiences. All right, good, bad, ugly. I'd love to know what you have to say. This is me signing off. You guys take care.